Lucian, the last of the Sinnoh Elite Four. He's a psychic tech, and he's a pretty good sync pair. But, you know, with the overflow of psychic sync pairs in the game, is he even gonna be a bit relevant? In this video, we're going to find out. So with that said, hit the thumbs up, comment your thoughts, subscribe if you haven't, and let's do this. Here we go. Yo, this is Solo, also known as SPL Gum, also known as Spatial Gum, also known as Grunt, the artist team Skull Grunt, and this is Pokemon Masters EX. Guys, I just came home, and you know where? Check this out, guys. I had my heart checked up earlier. They attach a lot of devices, wires, stuff on me. And yeah, basically I had this lingering chest pain for around 4 or 5 months already. I got this from COVID when I got it last December. And it's been there since then. And so, you know, it's been disturbing me. And the cardiologist just advised me to, you know, have it checked, have some stress echo, 2D echo, cardiogram, etc done. So I just came home from that, had these stuck in here for the memories, and it's gonna be not really. But anyway, in this video we're gonna be talking about Lucian and Girafarig and how good slash average slash bad they are. Well, we'll see, but he is the last out of the Sinnoh Elite Four units, or the Sinnoh Spotlight Scouts that are coming into the game. He's gonna come out on May 13, 2 days after BERTHA, who comes out 2 days after Aaron. So Aaron comes out next Monday, followed by BERTHA next Wednesday, followed by Lucian next Friday. And then SYGNA GIOVANNI comes out the week after that on Thursday. So, as you might know, they're Spotlight Scouts, the 3 of them. And as you might know as well, I do not exactly recommend scouting for Spotlight Scouts, except until this time when there is a guaranteed featured unit, you know, when you go for like 7,500 paid gems. But if you want to see a general analysis of each one of them, you can check out my Amazing Pairs Who to Scout for video, a general analysis of each one. If you want the individual analysis, I have finished everyone. Basically, I finished SYGNA MORTY, Aaron, BERTHA, SYGNA GIOVANNI, and this one is for Lucian. So check out the links in the description. But let's get on with Lucian right now. And if you see this background image, congratulations, you have successfully scouted for Lucian and Girafarig. Which, if you don't know, Girafarig spelled backwards is also Girafarig. Ah, you timed your arrival well. I just finished reading a book, you see. Alright, he comes out on May 13, ends on May 26, and he has 2 Pokemon moves. Confusion and Growl. Both of these moves are 1 move gauge attacks. Confusion, 10% chance of confusing the opponent. Growl hits everyone, lowers their attack stat. He also has X special attack, which raises your special attack by 2 levels, as well as Read It and Weep, trainer move, which has 2 MP, raises your defense and special defense plus 1, and raises your critical hit rate plus 2, and gives you a gradual healing effect. So use this twice, you will have your defense and special defense buffed up plus 2, as well as max critical hit rate, as well as a regen effect. Now, his sync move as a built-in multiplier. The lower the opponent's special defense is, the stronger the sync move is gonna be. Now, how do you lower the opponent's special defense? Simple. He has a passive skill called Stupefy 9, which whenever you hit the opponent, or rather, whenever you are able to, land an attack on the opponent, that opponent will have their special defense lowered -1. If I'm not mistaken, this should work with both Confusion and Growl. So every single time you use Confusion, you land a little bit of damage, you have a chance of making the opponent confused, and then you lower their special defense -1. I'm pretty sure this works with Growl. So every single time you use Growl, everyone's attack stat -1, everyone's special defense -1. So every single time you use Growl, you are lowering 2 stats of the opponent, and there is a Team Viral Hustle 9. Whenever you use Growl using Lucian, everyone's speed stat goes up +1. So a lot of things happening here. Every single time you use Growl, your opponent's, everyone's attack stat goes down -1, everyone's speed stat goes down everyone's attack stat, every single opponent's attack stat -1, every single opponent's special defense -1, every single ally speed +1. Good, nice. And then he has another sync move multiplier called Pecking Order. The lower the opponent's attack stat is, the stronger the sync move is gonna be. So how do you lower the opponent's attack? Growl. How do you lower the opponent's special defense? Growl. Or Confusion. Nice. And then for someone who can maximize their critical hit rate, advise to teach Critical Strike 2 to him to maximize the damage, especially with off-type damage. If you're gonna use Lucian against non-psychic weak opponents, Critical Strike 2 would work. Just land a critical hit and Critical Strike 2 will work. Alright, so let's move to the sync grid. At 1 out of 5, you get a lot. You get Dauntless, special attack cannot be lowered. Haste, speed cannot be lowered. Read, It, and Weep, MP refresh, so that you can raise your defense and special defense by another +1, as well as probably give you back a regen effect. Unflappable prevents you from flinching. Wide Awake prevents you from falling asleep. And next special attack, MP refresh 2, so you can maximize your special attack stat. 2 out of 5, you get Burst In, critical hit, first damage, first attack. Confusion Foul Fighting 9. When the opponent is confused, Confusion deals around 90% more damage. Now, Confusion, do not expect this to land strong damage. Its base power is quite low. But basically, having Foul Fighting 9 can almost double the damage of Confusion. And then he gets another sync move multiplier, Dominating Sync 2. Whenever the opponent's attack stat is lowered by at least -1, this should trigger and make your sync move damage 20% stronger. This goes above, or rather, this is an addition to Pecking Order. Pecking Order, the lower the opponent's attack stat is, the stronger the sync move. Dominating Sync 2, as long as the opponent's attack stat is lowered by -1 or more, that should work. Precognition 2, speed up the move gauge when there's a psychic terrain. Weird Recovery, when there's a psychic terrain, you get to recover HP every single time you take action. And then 2 sync nuke tiles at 2 out of 5. Now he has a 3 out of 5 grid as well. Adrenaline 1, when you use a sync move for the very first time, you lower your sync move countdown -1 instantly. Catalyst speeds up the move gauge when you use a sync move, or when you use your sync move for the first time. Confusion Aggravation 4. Remember earlier, Confusion has a 10% chance of making the opponent confused. Aggravation 4 basically increases this by 40%. So basically, 50% chance of confusing the opponent. More or less like that. Growl Charging Infliction 2. Basically, every single time you use Growl, you recover 2 move gauges. And as you might know, Growl is only 1 move gauge attack. When you use this, you charge up 2 move gauge. So it's like a Growl move gauge refresh 9 plus Growl move gauge refresh 9. So That's good, I guess. It's similar to Cosplay Emmet's Iron Defense Charging Infliction 2 plus Charging Infliction 1. So every single time you use Iron Defense or Sword Stance, you use up 2 move gauge and recover 3 move gauges instead if you have that build. And then you have Healthy Super Hit, gives you a super effective up next when you enter a battle with full HP. And then X Special Attack Ramp Up 1 basically raises your special attack stat plus 3 instead of plus 2 every single time you use X Special Attack. And then from here, you get another 4 Sync Nuke tiles to power your Sync move even more if you decide to go this route. Now again, as always, it is impossible to get every single thing in his grid. So let us go to STDK12's POMA tools to discuss this further. Now, at 1 out of 5, as you can see over here, not exactly too much to worry about. You can get everything as usual. 2 out of 5, you get several choices. Personally, I would get the multiplier, which is dominating Sync 2, so that when you have used Growl at least once, you will have 20% more damage. And then don't forget that you already have 2 Sync move multipliers, the one that's built in and the one that's a passive skill. So the lower the opponent's attack stat is, the stronger the damage, and the lower the opponent's special defense is, the stronger the damage. So by getting dominating Sync 2, you already have 3 Sync move multipliers. And then there are 2 Sync Nuke tiles, and then there's a Confusion Foul Fighting 9, so that when the opponent's confused, your Confusion lands stronger damage. And again, there's no right or wrong with your Sync grid. Feel free to experiment this on your own. Personally, I think I'll go this way. And there's a 3 out of 5 grid, which this just maximizes the damage of your Sync move. I got 5 Sync Nuke tiles, 3 at the bottom, 2 at the top, with a dominating Sync 2, a trainer move MP refresh so that I can raise my defense and special defense by another +1, an X special attack MP refresh 2, so maybe I can raise my special attack to maximum. And then, yeah, something like that. I think I have another build for him. No, I did not have another build for him. But I guess you can also go for a Confusion Aggravation build, which going to the top right part of the screen and probably the bottom left part of the screen for Charging Infliction. But I think if I were to use Lucian, I mean, he's not that slow. I'd go this way. I'd go for a Sync Nuke build, especially you can get all the multipliers for the Sync Nuke with just 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5, you get the multipliers. And if you want an additional super effective up next multiplier, your choice to get Healthy Super Hit or something, or just bring in a Sync pair that can give you a super effective up next. That's either red. I think Anniversary Raihan can also do that, as well as some other Sync pairs maybe to give you a super effective up next. But that's that. That is my 3 out of 5 grid, and I think he'll be fun to use. Especially by using Growl, you get to lower 2 different stats as well as raise everyone's speed stat. Not bad, not bad. But other than that, guys, Lucian's just a nice debuffer and Sync nuker. Other than that, nothing much else. I love that you can lower everyone's special defense with a 1 move gauge attack, and that is Growl. And there's not a Sync pair that can do this as of the moment. The one that can lower special defense, AoE lowering of special defense, actually belongs to Palatine's Dawn. Palatine's Dawn has the Fake Tears and has the Ripple Effect 4, 50% chance of lowering everyone's special defense. If that does not trigger, it only targets a single opponent. Another sync pair that can lower the opponent's special defense, everyone's special defense, is Anniversary N with Blue Flare. And it hits everyone, but it's a 4-move gauge attack. There are others that can lower special defense. For example, Cosplay Diantha with her passive skills. There's a... Is it Mind Leech, Armor Leech, Speed Leech, I think? Mind Leech can lower the opponent's special defense, but that's only targeting one opponent. So with Lucian, you are using a 1-move gauge attack to lower special defense of the opponent. And you know who needs a special defense debuffer? Anniversary May. Anniversary May has several multipliers that rely on the opponents having lowered special defense. And he's a perfect partner for Anniversary May because Anniversary May, unless you teach her Mind Games 2, Lucky Skill cannot lower the opponent's special defense. Sure, maybe you want to pair her up with Cosplay Raihan, which you can lower the opponent's special defense by having the opponent trap or confuse or flinching, then using your Twister. I think he has to be at 3 out of 5 or 2 out of 5 in order to lower the opponent's special defense. But that's that. Lucian, on the other hand, it's built into his kit. You only need to use Growl, a 1-move gauge attack. And if you have Growl charging Infliction 2, you're basically recovering 2-move gauges by using 1-move gauge. So Lucian and Girafarig is a very interesting sync pair. Nice debuffer. Overall, doesn't exactly bring something extremely new to the game, but he's an excellent debuffer to an otherwise, how do you say this? You know what? One more thing probably about Lucian is that most of the psychic types we have are special attackers. And there's not a lot of special defenders in the game. Like, if you want to instantly one-shot the opponent, if you want to pair him up probably with SYGNA Suit Lusamine. You know, SYGNA Suit Lusamine, mostly you want to use her as the sync nuker. So probably imagine this. Use Growl, 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 Growl. Lower the opponent's special defense. The lower the opponent's special defense is, that targets everyone. Psychic Terrain, boom, sync move, everyone dies. Perfect. Nice. Good addition. Good addition. That's what he does. That's what he does best. And that's what his role is. And you know, you also have, every single time he uses Growl again, not only do you lower the opponent's special defense, but you also lower their attack stat. So just in case the opponent's physical attackers, like for example Bruno, if Bruno is weak to fighting, Bruno's mostly a physical attacker. So you get to survive a little bit more. And don't forget that every single time you use Growl, your speed stat goes up. If you're using, for example, Bianca or Lear, you know, Lear has Rising Tide. The higher your stats are, the stronger the damage is. Bianca's Stored Power, the higher your stats are, the stronger the damage. So you're also raising everyone's stats, speed stats. Not only do you fill up the move gauge faster, but you also help your sync pairs land stronger damage by filling up their stats, increasing their speed stat, as well as lowering the opponent's special defense so that you get to land devastating damage on the opponent using your other sync pairs. But that's for the initial analysis, my initial reaction for Lucian and Girafarig. And again, these are the dates that they're coming out. Most of you are probably scouting for SYGNA Suit Giovanni. I've already discussed my thoughts on SYGNA Suit Giovanni. If you want to check it out, link will also be in the description. I think it would be nice to give SYGNA Suit Giovanni Lucian speed buffs, but at the same time, their synergy is not exactly great. Lucian lowers the opponent's special defense. SYGNA Suit Giovanni's attacks and sync moves are all physical. So no relation, but probably the speed buff can come from here for here and stuff like that. But I think Ingo is the perfect support for SYGNA Suit Giovanni. But that's it. Let's move on to their stats comparison. And again, as you might see over here, Lucian has the second to the lowest special defense as well as the defense stats. But you can increase your defense and special defense by reading and weeping his trainer move. He has the highest speed stat out of everyone and the highest special attack stat, but honestly, he's the only sync pair that uses the special attack stat. And his attack is Confusion. Confusion doesn't exactly land too much damage, but for sync nuking, he will be good. He also has the lowest HP stat out of everyone, so keep that in mind. If you make him 6-star EX, that's a 699 HP, but without the 6-star, rather, without giving him 25-star power-ups, his HP remains 599. Now, speaking of power-ups, I forgot to mention this earlier, but if you actually go for the paid banner route, which is 7,500 paid gems, you instantly get 20 custom power-ups for Lucian, or Bertha, or Aaron. So spend 7,500 paid gems, you get one sure copy of them, you get 600 sync orbs for them, and you get 20 custom power-ups for them. That 20 custom power-ups is such a nice thing, because if you do not get it there, you know, you have to earn your power-ups through scouting or through Champion Stadium custom power-up tickets, which takes a while to do that. But if you decide to just spend 7,500 paid gems, not trying to influence you here, but spend 7,500 paid gems here, and you can instantly 6-star EX Lucian, or Bertha, or Aaron. I think it's such a nice deal for those who are considering. Think about it that way. You get 25-star power-ups for them. But stats aren't everything, and these are the multipliers again, with Lucian having the most sync move multipliers. We got Foul Fighting 9 at 2 out of 5, and the super effective up next. It's basically start of the battle. If you start with full HP, you get the super effective up next. Personally, not a fan of that one. But if you decide to go for it, then maybe you can go for it. And again, thank you to Jack and STDK12 for these computations. And these are the numbers for the DPS and the sync nuke, with Lucian having the third highest out of the bunch, the middle ground, 1,007,332. This is including Psychic Terrain. So Psychic Terrain has to be active here. And sync nuke damage, 26,233,502, the highest out of the bunch. And you know, as whatchamacallit, as I always say, I completely forgot what I was gonna say. These numbers, if you are interested in seeing how these are computed, link will be in the description. So check it out for yourself if you want to. But SYGNA Suit Giovanni is still, if you're wondering why it's so high, it's including Steel Zone. Steel Zone, Psychic Terrain, think Aaron is with Bug Zone, and SYGNA Suit MORTY with Sunny Day. So weather conditions included in the computation of this video. Now let me compare Lucian with the other Psychic type tech sync pairs that we have in the game right now, which are Bianca, Lear, Anniversary May, and Will. You have other Psychic types, but these are the tech sync pairs. And I did not include Callum in this list because Callum requires 5-star support, or rather 5-star tech move candies, which are not easy to get, and I would rather not advise you to do that to Callum unless you really love Callum, like my baby account, which I promised. But here we go, guys. So, as you can see over here, the lowest HP is actually Will. This is a 5-star Will, by the way. As you might know, Will starts at 4 stars. And in this update, in the May 25, Will be getting an expanded sync grid. So, that's good news. Will be getting an expanded sync grid on May 25. And Will has the lowest HP, but the highest defense, special defense, and speed stats. Meanwhile, Lear has the highest special attack stat. Lucian has the lowest special defense. Lear has the lowest defense. And so on and so forth. You know, you can check that out for yourself. But stats aren't everything. And now we're gonna compare their multipliers and their kit. Lucian, as you can see over here, has those multipliers which we just discussed. Bianca, the lower the opponent's special defense is, the stronger her sync move is gonna be. And how do you lower the opponent's special defense? Use Psychic using Bianca. Or use Lucian and use Growl or Confusion. Brain Teaser and Power Reserves 2, the lower the opponent's HP, the lower Bianca's HP is. Not really the lower, but if Bianca is at very low health, Power Reserves 2 will activate. Brain Teaser, if I'm not mistaken, also relies on the opponent's lowered special defense stat. So you have to lower the opponent's special defense stat for Brain Teaser to work. So that's why I said Lucian is a very, very good, you know, partnered up with our psychic types, because if I go back again to the screen, as you can see over here, all the attack stats are grayed out. And what does this mean? None of these sync pairs actually use their attack stat. Everyone has special attack. And how does special attack get powerful? By lowering the opponent's special defense stat. How do you lower the opponent's special defense? Lucian can help you with that. Lear has hyperspace hole, fuse, brain. The higher his special attack stat is, the stronger the damage. Hyperspace hole, super duper effective one if the opponent is weak to psychic type. Lear also has a multiplier if the opponent does not have any increased stats. This is excluding sync buffs. You can have the multiplier over there. Rising Tide, the higher Lear stats are, the stronger the damage. Anniversary May, added insult. This is it. The lower the opponent's special attack and special defense stat is, the stronger the damage. That is added insult. And you cannot lower the opponent's special defense stat with Anniversary May. Brain Teaser, the lower the opponent's special defense stat. Overpowered, the lower the opponent's special attack stat. Super effective up next, you know that. Built-in, target special attack lowered. Devastation, target special attack lowered. Smarty Pants, target special defense lowered. And super effective up next. Meanwhile, Will over here has Confusion Synergy 2 with stored power. So if the opponent is confused, stronger the damage. And then he has a built-in multiplier if the opponent is confused. Interference Sync 5 is basically if the opponent is confused as well, or trapped, or flinching. And Sync Power Flux, the higher, the fuller your move gauge is, the stronger your sync move is gonna be. Now, how do these convert to multipliers? To numbers rather. Before that, I want to say, Lucian, very, very easy to, you know, to trigger the multipliers. You only have to use Growl once. Every single one except for the super effective up next will trigger for the sync move multipliers. So, you have to use Growl once, the opponent's special defense will be lowered, the opponent's attack stat will be lowered, that is except if they have raised their attack stat or special defense stat before you use the sync move. Pecking order will trigger as long as the opponent's attack stat is lowered, but the lower the opponent's attack stat is, or special attack stat is, the stronger the damage. And with the maximum multipliers, you can get these numbers. Lucian has the lowest DPS at 1,007,332, but this is considering again that you're only having a 1 move gauge confusion, just a 1 move gauge attack. But with a sync nuke damage, he actually lands 3rd highest out of the bunch, with Lear having the highest damage at 27 million, Anniversary May with 26 million 300 something, Lucian with 26 million 233. Meanwhile, Bianca at 8 million, Will at 12 million something. But in terms of stored power damage, Bianca a little bit higher than Will, but this is including power reserves for Bianca, which you have to have low HP. Meanwhile, Will relies on a confusion multiplier for stored power. So maybe that's a little bit easier to trigger than this one. But that said, those are the numbers. And if we were to sort the strongest sync nukers in the game, this is what this will look like, guys. First is Lear with 27,900,000. Second is Anniversary May with 26,373,000. Third is Lucian with 26,233,000. Fourth is SYGNA Lusamine with 16,507,000. And fifth is Giovanni and Mewtwo with 13,406,006. These two are strikers, those three are tech. So these three, these two, if you have them 6-star EX, they hit everyone. Those three, with their 6-star EX, they hit 1.5 times stronger. But I think these numbers are already 6-star EX, considering 6-star EX numbers. So those are the numbers you should expect, excluding, you know, the computations for the opponent's defenses and stuff, so are unrealistic to see these millions of damage, but you get the idea of who's stronger and who's weaker and stuff like that. Now in terms of DPS, this is the order of damage in these sync pairs. First one is SYGNA Lusamine with prismatic lasers, 4,729,168. Second is Anniversary May, considering added insult. The lower the opponent's special attack and special defense is, the stronger the damage. Again, Anniversary May cannot lower the opponent's special defense unless you have unless you have Mind Games too as a lucky skill. Giovanni's damage is this, and I think Giovanni is power reserves 5 or something like that, which means that you have to lower Giovanni up to a point low HP in order to maximize the damage. Wallace still there with, I think it's mirror move or something. I honestly never use Giovanni for psychic type damage, and honestly I'm still unwilling to use Wallace for anything related to counter damage. So I don't know, I'd rather use someone else. And then as you might know, Wallace is a water type sync pair, but very undying, high HP, very tanky. Every single time you use a sync move you get to recover. And then there are a lot more in between. Lucian is not there, is far from the top 5. The top 5th actually is Lear, with his DPS at 3,714,984. But Lucian is quite far in this list of DPS. But that's that. Lucian, again, good things about him is that he only has 1 move gauge attack. So in a battle or in a team of psychic users, you know, he can give you increased speed buffs. He can power up your strongest psychic types even more. If it's probably gonna be either, you know, your team is gonna be something like this, either Giovanni or SYGNA Lusamine or Lear, plus either Anniversary May or Bianca plus Lucian. And then it's either Bianca or Anniversary May bringing it than Psychic Terrain by using Psychic Terrain or Psychic Wish. And then Lucian using Growl to lower the opponent's attack stats, increasing your speed stats, and lowering the opponent's special defense stats. And then once you're ready to sync, use them for the sync move, deal devastating damage, probably one-shot the opponent, or probably one-shot the sides, then one more attack for the center, battle over. That's how you use Lucian. Pretty short battle, but in terms of longer battles, Growl will be helpful, especially in physical users, physical type opponents. And that's that. Again, Lucian very straight to the point, nothing very new to the field, like no such thing as Team Sunburst? What was it? What was Signature Morty's thing? No such thing as a rock damage field. No such thing as, you know, Giovanni's cunning. Very typical, but something that psychic types pretty much will appreciate. Not need, but will appreciate. That special defense debuffer, as well as speed buffer, is very much appreciated. And that is why you want to scout for Lucian. But again, you do you. If you want to scout for Lucian, again, there's a paid route guaranteeing you 1 copy as well as 25 star power-ups for him if you go the paid 7,500 gem pool, or just risk it in Spotlight Scouts, or wait because he is gonna be around after their banner ends. The Spotlight Scouts are permanent. And you know, feel free to listen to everything I say, or completely ignore what I say and just scout for your faves, or just scout for Signature Giovanni, or ignore everyone and just scout for whoever comes out on the end of May / early June, or save until the next anniversary, which comes very far, still far. A reminder that July is the Summer Sync Pairs arrival. So there's gonna be new Summer Sync Pairs. So it's happening again. July Summer Sync Pairs. August getting ready for the anniversary. And then it's August to September, I think, is the anniversary, right? October, fall seasonals. November, cosplay sync pairs. December, holiday sync pairs. January, New Year. February, Valentine's. March, so on and so forth, guys. That's the year of Pokemon Masters. And I hope you enjoyed watching this video. This took a while to do again, as usual. And I'm pretty glad that, you know, I was supposed to finish this yesterday. And my appointment, when I went to sleep, it was like almost 4:30 or something. I was like, I'll continue this tomorrow because my appointment was supposed to be 10:30 a.m. And suddenly my mom woke me up at 7:30. I said like, your appointment was moved to 8:30 a.m. It was pretty far. And if I actually finished this yesterday, I would have had no sleep whatsoever. But yeah, that's it. I will appreciate these things before I take a shower. I'll probably stream with these on for the heck, for the memories. But with that said, thank you everyone for watching this video. I hope you appreciate it. And if you did, and if you're not watching this as a premiere, you can check out my new button over there to the bottom part of the screen. There is something like a heart over there, a heart with a thanks thing. And you can click it. That is called the Super Thanks. And that's basically like an animated GIF that anyone can get if you wish to support me a little bit more. And yeah, your comment or your thanks, your super thanks thing will be highlighted in the comment section. So yeah, you can do that if you wish to, or send me a super chat, or become a member of my channel. Click on the join button down below. And again, I would like to give a huge shout out to my awesome members who have been supporting me for the longest time Thank you very much for your support. Again, in chronological order, in the longest order. Thank you, Nick and Shadow Phil for 17 months. Thank you, Aryan Singh for 16. Thank you, Cindy the Cinderace Gamer as well as Roy for 15 months. Luca at 14. Jeremy at 13. Arima at 10. Sasri Ambrian and Marcella at 7. Lance Nice at 3. And Ewiz at 2. Thank you so much. Appreciate all the support. Again, join. And that's it. Hit the thumbs up if you haven't. Comment. Subscribe. And with that said, this is Sol, also known as SPL. Oh, wait. If you want to see the gem count, here it is. And speaking of gem count, Magikarp event, Magikarp Twitter thing, not included in my gem count. So if we succeed in the 1,300,000 eggs, something like that, I think, we get another 3,000 gems. Yay! Can we succeed? Have you hatched a shiny Magikarp? I haven't. I've already hatched like 12 eggs. I haven't hatched a shiny yet. I'm frustrated. Have you hatched a shiny? Let me know. And if you have hatched a shiny, what role is it? Striker, tech, or support? But with that said, this is Sol, also known as SPL Gum, also known as Spatial Gum, also known as Grunt. Yeah, this team's called Grunt. Nai! We'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Rah!